Hi, it's the MLM for the Soul channel. I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And this is the continuation of the series, Personal Stories and Practical Lessons to Learn and or Apply. This is part number 14. And I just want to say, and I haven't said this with every video, but I probably ought to. What I do is I put kind of like the bullet points to the story, and sometimes there's also more information. I also have other links and different interesting things. So you may want to look below in the description. And I also want to say, if you want to share, please share comments. If you have other stories or things you'd like to share that you've experienced, or how the story that I share relates to you in any way, I would really be nice to hear what you have to say. So this happened, and I always try to, I try to record the videos, the newer ones at least, close to when I experienced it, so I can keep track of like dates. It's just for my own thing. So this happened January 28th, 25 in Gregorian, and it was the same. It's the 28th of Teves. What happened was the faucet handle, it's like a one handle, it's not like two faucets separate for cold, hot and cold, so it's one faucet. And it's been not working so great, ready for, I think, a couple months, where you have to close it, and when you close it, if you don't close it down, push down the handle, then it keeps dripping. And also depends kind of like which direction, if it's in the center, and then to the right is the cold, of course to the left is the hot if you're turning it, since it's just one handle. And so I don't know if I noticed that it kind of looked like it wasn't on properly anyway. I don't know if I really paid attention to that, but I put a note in the bathroom that please make sure you push down the handle so that it shuts. So what happened was, today was I was using it, and then it seemed that, I don't know how, I was pressing it to close it, and it seemed like it wasn't wanting to close, and the water just kept running. It would, there was no flood, Baruch Hashem, but just the water, you couldn't close the water, meaning you would try to close it, you would put it down the way you're supposed to close it, and it just kept flowing. So what I did was I went under the sink, and there's valves, there's like one for hot and one for cold separate. So I think I just closed off the cold and left the hot, and just, what I would do is, when I was finished using it, I would just turn it to the cold so that actually the water doesn't keep running. I didn't say anything to anyone right away because it wasn't like a major issue, meaning, you can get by with just doing that for now. But of course, I let, because this story happened at my parents' home, so I let my dad know, like, they have a handyman they use, so I let them know to contact. Now, it was already kind of early afternoon when I let them know, because I had other things to do, and I didn't want it to, his availability for him to come, because we were planning to go shopping, food shopping, L'Kvod Shabbos Chodesh, and also Rosh Chodesh coming up, and he said about coming later in the day, maybe he said 5 or something, and I said, and I kind of pointed to my dad, and with my fingers I said 6 better, because we weren't leaving till, I don't know, when did we finally leave? Close to 4, after whatever things I needed to do, eat, daven, whatever, pray. So he said, okay, so what did he say? I heard him say on the phone is, call when you get back. So the handyman said, call when you get back, because he explained to him what the issue was, and he would come and see what he could do. So we went shopping. When we got back, we actually got back about 5:30. We left, like I said, closer, maybe 10 to 4. We got back kind of around 5:30, and we said, we'd call, and maybe it would be closer to 6. So after we pulled in, my dad pulled into the driveway, the car into the garage, and he parked. Then I wasn't paying attention. I started taking things out, and then I turned around and I see a car in the driveway, and I had no clue who that was. I never saw the handyman before, or his car. And my dad was talking to him, but I didn't quite know who that was. And it turns out that that's who it was. It was the handyman. He I don't know, I didn't get the particulars from him, but he must have been in the area or working for someone else in the area, and he figured he would just stop by earlier than, when then we kind of gave him the idea of when to come. So, but Baruch Hashem, it was perfect timing. So all these things, again, all these parts are all connected. It was a perfect time, of Hashem. And why is that? Because number one, my mom was in the house, and of course, according to halacha, a man can't be alone with a woman. I mean, there's different things where it works. You can keep a door open, or something would be unlocked, the garage, whatever. I mean, if the husband's in the area or something. But still, I personally, I'm not, of course, a rabbi, but I personally, yeah, of course, but believe it's better just have it that way, where there's a man in the house. When there's a man in the house that's working. If it was a woman, handy woman, then it wouldn't be an issue. But it's so interesting how Hashem planned all this, that, he could have come a little earlier. We weren't there yet, and he did, so Hashem made it that he came then, and he didn't wait for our call, which is okay. Because had he come, like we said, about 6, better, that's already getting to the time where it's time to daven mincha, so it would have been, so had he come like 6, and then maybe since we got back earlier, we could have, done our davening, our praying, but I think Hashem just planned it this way, so like he was able to finish up Baruch Hashem. He went into the bathroom and he saw that actually, he said that whoever put the faucet on actually didn't put it on right, or put it on backwards. I don't know, some weird thing. I mean, the handle was proper, like the direction, but he said they put the part, so he took it apart and was able to put it back, and it doesn't look like it did before when I was using it, because it looked like something was loose, like in the middle of where the handle was, like it's hard to explain unless I show you a picture, which I don't have, of what it looked like. So Baruch Hashem, he was able to fix it, but I think still the timing, like I said, now in hindsight, thinking, if we would have told him to come, called at 6, we could have davened before, but I was, busy also unpacking all the groceries and everything. So Baruch Hashem, it was proper in the sense that, everything Hashem plans in the timing is supposed to be the way he does it, not the way we want it. But it was all right in the end. Everything Hashem does is always right. And if we can, see that with our own eyes and pay attention to it, that's when we see that everything is Hashem's, hashgacha. Everything he does, every little bit, everything, whether we see it or we don't, it still is. But I just thought it was very interesting how this all kind of came together, and Baruch Hashem, everything is good and working fine, so there's no problem anymore. And that he was available, it could have been that he wasn't available, we'd have to wait. But again, I just, my own intuition, I just turned off the valve, and I would have just, used it however I had to, and then, put it to the cold, on the cold side, and then it, it wasn't running anymore. But it all worked out, and everything always does. We just have to accept certain times things the way they are. Maybe we don't always like them. We don't think, but we shouldn't really, and I shouldn't say should, it's not really for us to decide that it isn't right, because whatever Hashem does is right. So everything that happens to us is always good and always right. And I hope and pray that we will all merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days and the rebuilding of our final and everlasting Beis HaMikdash. Amen, and thanks for watching.